So, I'm Alice Thornburg. Uh, you may know me as LSD Super Soaker. I picked that name because it's my music and my lyrics are just too many ideas all at once. And if you don't want to try LSD, you could just listen to my music. It's very similar. It'll change your mind, I hope. Uh, but I do think a lot about projectiles. Don't put LSD in a super soaker, okay? It's not nice, and it's a violation of the Geneva Convention. Although I don't have a lot of respect for the Geneva Convention because you know what isn't a violation of the Geneva Convention is putting holes through people's bodies, annihilating them, eviscerating them, blowing them up, ripping their arms off. That's all okay. I just can't change their mind with a chemical. So, anyway, not that I am working on that. I am working on projectiles because I believe far more interesting things than piercing rounds, electrocution rounds, poison darts, sleep darts, uh, pepper spray, rubber bullets. I believe more than these things are possible. I think you could fire a hanging garden with this. You could make paintballs that when they hit the wall, they become a letter or a pattern. And they could be made out of a symbiotic relationship between fungi and algae, otherwise known as lichen. You've seen them growing on rocks. So we could make living graffiti. We could make something that catches the air like a rose and blossoms. Almost like if you see a bullet hitting a steel wall in slow motion, it blossoms almost like a flower. Well, this could do that on the air, blossom into a flower on the air, grow to the size of a grapefruit before it knocks the wind out of you, and then falls into a million pieces over time, falls in the ground and lets off leaf after leaf after leaf that are like microscopic thin, but each contains a celery seed or spores or both, a small mycelial network, so that it lands somewhere really far away and grows vegetables and mushrooms. Uh, I am working on living architecture. Insect respiration doesn't rely on a breathing action. Like it relies on insectoid respiration. It does not rely on a breathing action. In, out, in, out. What it does instead is static, unchanging architecture. The only part that changes is the entrance. It's called a stomata. Wait, no, that's not true. It's called the spiracle and leads to tracheola. So that hole, that spiracle, and that exoskeleton, it's very much like a fungal grow bin you'd buy on Amazon. And so what I want to do is make that for you really big and fill it with trash and plant mushrooms in the trash so it aerates, and branching tubes inside deliver air, and the thing just turns into a mushroom garden. Mushrooms are symbiotic, that means they get along with trees and plants and crops, food and medicine. I think it's possible to copy insect structure, to make structures, to make buildings, to make houses that grow food and medicine out of the walls for free. Solo usando basura podemos crear edificios que pueden crear comida y medicina de las paredes. Isn't that neat? Yeah, what I just said was we can use only trash to make structures that create food and medicine out of the walls. So, yeah, there's a natural cycle that happens in the forest. When a tree falls, when a tree falls in the woods, we can't hear it over the logging equipment. We can't hear it over the logging equipment. So, when a tree falls in the woods, we can't hear it over the logging equipment. And it gets packed up and shipped across the world in the form of boxes full of bullshit you didn't need. It's crazy. I see a way we can fix it. So, when that tree falls, it's supposed to become more baby trees, because mycelium, the body of the fungus, it's hypersymbiotic, gives all that nutrition back to the forest, to all your crops, and it's loving, it's a good thing. But we interrupted this process to make cardboard and paper. It's disgusting. So we can take that process and insect architecture and make buildings that grow food out of the walls with Lego blocks, not to be confused with Legos. Legally distinct, thank you. You lay them and they grow, and they're blocks, and much like me, a Lego block is male on the top, and a Lego block is female on the bottom. But it could be male and female on all 6 sides, just like I would be if I was a box. So, I know this is a lot to take in, but that's what I'm planning for this year next. Miniature proof of concept. Miniature proof of concept. That means I'm going to show you it's possible by making a little version of it. And I know I can do it. I've got ArcGIS, Geographic Information Systems. I've got computer-assisted design for my Prusa Excel Industrial 3D printer, and my Trunk Seymour Pro 2 for the substrate with an insert into your box. Something that mushrooms could eat. Tracheola-inspired ventilation branching, and reinforced with wires and plastic, whatever. We stuff it full of gravel and sticks and crap and whatever clothes, man. Mycelium can grow on anything. I'm using oyster mushrooms and wine caps, and they're freaking savages. They will eat anything. They survive anything. They're crazy. I love them. So, this method, it can be retooled for robotics. And I think it's possible to mine a landfill using robotic mech builders, sort of in the form of ants, which, so the reason I'm thinking that is because if you want to guide the evolution of a self-replicating machine race to make it hyper symbiotic, a stewardship engine that has a duty of care for all living things throughout the future of life on this planet, what you will have to do to guide the evolution of this thing is control prerequisites for survival and replication and action. So what I mean is you have prerequisites for survival and replication. You have needs to live your life and to reproduce. You have to eat water. You have to drink water. You have to eat food. You have to be attractive enough to have